Mr. Greer, it's been less than a week since President Trump started this, what I'll describe as a reckless tariff war. It certainly feels that way. Families are seeing higher costs. Businesses across the country are hurting, and we've seen one of the worst drops in the stock market in over 35 years. Do you believe that there's currently higher costs a week after the president put these tariffs into place?
Senator, we haven't yet seen how those costs are going to be allocated between the foreign producers and their importers here. We haven't seen the data on that yet.
Do you believe businesses are hurting a week after President Trump put these tariffs into place?
I've heard from a lot of businesses. Some of them are excited about the prospects. Some are concerned because they're import dependent instead of U.S. product dependent. So I know there are varying views on this.
Let me ask this question, because this one's based completely on fact, on something I think you look at every day. You probably have some of these numbers in your phone that I'm guessing might be in your pocket. Have we seen one of the worst drops in the stock market in over 35 years?
We've certainly seen volatility.
Have we seen one of the worst drops in the stock market in over 35 years?
I think, and Senator Warner talked about this.
We'll move on. If you don't want.
Well, I know everyone's concerned about Wall Street, and I'm just concerned about Main Street and getting these jobs back,
Okay, let's talk about Main Street, Mr. Greer. Last time you were here, I asked if President Trump's trade war would hurt New Mexico businesses and families. You dodged my question. You told me, quote, I can't guarantee economic outcomes. When I pressed you, you told me that you want me to, quote, you asked me to, quote, hear from me on what the impacts of these tariffs are. Well, Mr. Greer, I'm here to tell you today, New Mexicans are hurting. I understand why you would not guarantee that New Mexicans wouldn't be hurt, because you probably knew what I thought then that we now see today, that this is hurting people back home. Now, I want to ask you the same question again. Yes or no, will President Trump's tariffs harm New Mexican businesses and families?
Senator, I just don't think they will. Right now, you have duty-free trade with Canada and Mexico, where they comply with the rules, where they have U.S., Mexican, and American content. I mean, this is designed, and I would hope that being a border state, this is something that you find valuable, and that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to incentivize production in the United States. We want North America to be competitive, and this is. We can't have the status quo. We have to have a situation where we have manufacturing here, where we have foreign market access for our producers, and we want New Mexico families and companies and communities to prosper.
Mr. Greer, do you agree with President Trump that families are going to have to feel a little pain?
I'm not going to speak for the president.
I didn't ask for you to speak for him. I know none of you have the courage to stand up to him. What I'm asking you, Mr. Greer, is do you agree with what the president said about these tariffs, in that people are going to have to feel a little pain? That's my question.
If we have companies that feel pain because they're adjusting their supply chains, have more American product made by American workers, that's an adjustment we have to make to prepare for the future. We can't keep doing the same thing we always did. And if companies are having trouble adjusting their supply chains, which I'm very sensitive to, this is something that we have to deal with. We can't do nothing for 4 years like we saw under Biden, where there was just nothing going on trade.
Let me ask the question a little differently. Yes or no? Do you agree with President Trump when he said families are going to have to feel a little pain?
Of course, I agree with the president.
Thank you very much.
But I expect that the jobs we see for manufacturing is going to far outweigh
short on time, sir. So
yes,
look,
sir.
Economists are predicting that Trump's trade war is going to cost American families about $4,000 per year. I disagree with your assessment now, and agreeing with Donald Trump that families should feel pain. When I asked you about the economic impact of families back home, you said, no, they're going to do great. Things are going to be wonderful. New Mexico should be appreciative of all these things. I guess pain is the kind of relief that you believe that families should be going through. I mean, it is what it is. As I've been saying to my colleagues here, I understand the outcome of this last election. Donald Trump is now the president of the United States. He won the election. My Republican colleagues in the Senate won the election. They control the votes in this chamber. They control the votes in the House. That's why we're seeing these budget resolutions. All I'm saying is own up to what you want to do. You want to do it. Just be honest with the American people about what's going on. I appreciate the time today, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.
The same economists who are crying out now were the ones who said we were going to crash the economy, and Trump won. We put tariffs on China, and real median household income went up for Americans by $7,000. Inflation went down, unemployment went down. So we have history showing that we know how to use this.
Mr. Chairman, since Mr. Greer went on, I will just follow up again. Then help explain the pain that people are feeling today with your assessment of what Donald Trump said, that families should feel some pain. That's all okay with you all?
Senator, we're not going to be in a situation where we keep allowing Wall Street to run the economy. And as we're making that transition, companies
you know what, Mr. Greer,
will need to
you
adjust.
go spend
sir.
a little time at the grocery store talking to some of my constituents back home. I'll take you around. We'll walk around. We're not going to give anyone a heads up. You just go do it. And let's see what the regular folks back home are doing, including the people that come and talk to me that say they voted for this president. This is not what they stand up for. Farmers and ranchers are getting the short end of the stick from USDA, where these grants are being cut, and they say, oh, no, it's because we don't want to give people food. Baloney. You're cutting the lifeline for these farmers and ranchers as well, in addition to what's happening with these inputs with tariffs. Look, you all are a lot smarter than I. I'm just a regular person back home. I'm one of them.
I'm happy to come visit with you,
That's
sir.
the difference between you and I, sir.